What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? This is Dre, Zach, Skol Sessions. We are officially at episode 11. Happy holidays, happy holidays, happy holidays. And
Let's go.
we're coming in, man. We're doing our, this is kind of everything. We're doing our midweek huddle. We're going to talk about the Lions game and how that was. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Packers game. Then your boy Jaren Hall, finally, the Vikings got what they wanted. So we got a lot to talk about, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. Your Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions, they got it, they battled and your Minnesota Vikings fell short. How do you feel about the game, bro?
Man, I feel like there were so many opportunities to win that game yesterday or the other
Right,
day.
right,
And, I feel like Nick Mullins was the problem. The four interceptions, the four turnovers, you cannot have that,
right,
trying to win those close games. It's going to be a close game, division game,
right,
especially against the Detroit Lions. You
right,
know,
right, right.
they basically threw a parade on our field. It's been 30 years and I'm over here talking trash in black and white. Hey,
Hey,
bye bye Barry, and here we go.
right, right,
NFC
right,
North champions, U.S. Bank Stadium. What a
right.
terrible way to go out. But I really think that game, man. Like I told you this offline that when Justin Jefferson caught that pass, that 3rd and 27 pass, I
Bro,
mean straight dog, bad man.
right,
But
right,
I was thinking like, yo, this is that Buffalo Bill type game. We're gonna come back. We're gonna win this game.
right, right,
And
right.
sure enough, we go down, we spike the ball. Next play, interception.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah,
it is what it is, man. Like
yeah.
it's one of those games where there was opportunities. It's kind of like been like every game we played in this
Right,
year.
right, right,
We've turned the ball over countless times,
right.
and we're still able to be in arm's reach of winning the football game, but we fall short. You know,
Yeah,
so it was definitely disheartening, and now we have to rely on other people to get into the playoffs type thing instead of taking care of business, what we always talk about.
right.
So I'm upset with the L, man. But it was bound to happen. We had so many injuries, and I think they're
Stop,
actually.
stop,
I'm
stop.
for real. I think the injuries are starting to pile up. They're starting to pile up, and you can't have a consistent football team when you
Uh,
have your some of your best guys going out. But besides the point, they doubted up against our defense. They
right.
definitely doubted up against our defense. They were driving
Mm,
on us the whole game. So,
yeah,
you know, it's upsetting, but what do you feel? How do you feel about the game?
that's funny you said that, bro. I feel like the hot coaching name right now is the offensive coordinator for the Lions. I forgot his name. Johnson. I think it's Johnson or something like
Ben
that.
Johnson.
Ben
Ben Johnson.
Johnson, to a point where we talking money. We talking what I want to see if I'm going to be a head coach again, a head coach in the NFL. But to go back to what you were saying, I just brought that up because that was funny. Um, you were black and white. You looking like pay $1 a day. $1 a day can help me on that TikTok video.
Right.
Hey, the Lions walked in your trap, took over your trap. That's what they just did. They was in the locker room. They was in the locker room getting their stuff off. Um, I told you, bro. I told you. I told you. I told you. This
You predicted.
I
You
did.
predicted the score. We only
Yes,
scored 24 points, and you
yes.
predicted us to score 24.
I think I said 27, 24, 28, 24. Close
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Uh, so Gibbs, I told you Gibbs, that acceleration, that speed, 15 carries, 80 yards, 2 TDs. I told you St. Brown is a dog. You already knew that. The USC guy, he came in 12 receptions, 106 yards, 1 TD. The offensive coordinator just getting him in the slot, getting him in positions where he's gonna win. He's not the fastest guy, but he's one of those guys that has the quick feet, the acceleration, and can make you look crazy. I knew we were gonna lose. I didn't expect us to lose because Nick Mullins is throwing 4 interceptions. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a little sip of this rum chata. This little rum chata is Christmas, the holiday season. Uh, man, 22 out of 36 for 411 yards. That's top 15 quarterback, right? 2 TDs. I'll even give you that. 4 picks, bro. And my thing with Nick Mullins, it's funny because I was thinking about this earlier today. Nick Mullins is Brett Favre without the Brett Favre talent. He don't got
Yeah.
that Brett. You know how Brett Favre. he would throw those crazy passes, but he had the arm talent that all you could do is just shrug your shoulders and say, "Hey, it is what it is." Nick Mullins is struggling to get the damn ball out, and he has that gunslinger mentality, bro. And it's one of these situations with Dobbs and Mullins. It's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? Because Dobbs was maybe not as turnover happy, but you put up 3 points. You know what I mean? Like you weren't producing on offense. Okay, cool. So we're gonna put Mullins in. Mullins is gonna give you them points. Mullins is gonna throw those passes, but he gonna give you what? Would you say 6 picks? Like 6, 7 picks in the span of 2 weeks?
Yep.
So it's like, goodness gracious, bro. We're gonna have a little conversation. Obviously, the news came out. Kevin O'Connell has some damn sense and finally did. I think what me and you wanted him to do. I wanted him to do this a long time ago. So we'll talk about
Way
that.
back.
Ty Chandler, 8 carries, 17 yards, a TD. I don't. Damn, is that Madison back out there? And then JJ, bro. JJ is JJ. Like
Man.
6 receptions, a buck 41, a TD. Bam, you already discussed it. Third down, we need it. It's not, we need it, and everybody on the field knows who's getting the ball. And he's making plays that are so special, look so normal that it's a special thing to witness, bro. And you and I both, when we lost Stephon Diggs because of your boy signed that contract extension, and then Stephon Diggs went on Twitter and said it's time for new beginnings. I
Yep.
think we all were like, damn, we can draft a guy, but we won't have a Minneapolis Miracle player. We won't have a player like Stephon Diggs. And to have a player that's cheaper right now in his career is better. We are extremely lucky. We are extremely lucky, bro. Um, I
What
mean,
he's doing.
yeah, bro. I'm gonna put the phone down because there's nothing else to talk about. Hawkinson had a horrible leg injury. You may not see him till week 2, week 1 of the following season. So your main target is gone. And the defense is starting to look a little leaky. I know Byron Murphy was out. Your corners were put up a shut up, and they didn't do what they needed to do. So
We're gonna mention Caleb Evans and that move Gibbs put on him.
I
Hey,
mean,
Flores said, "Come sit on the bench."
he sat right by Flores. I mean, hey, we had this discussion, I think, over the phone or a last video. If you want Brian Flores back, this is what needs to happen because Brian Flores, even with the NFL, him suing the NFL, him having situations like with Tua, he couldn't get the job done with Tua, and then McDaniels comes in there and has Tua playing like a Pro Bowl level. I mean, he had to play squeaky clean defense, top 10, top 5 defense to really get a realistic shot at being a head coach again. He will get the interviews. There's no denying that he will still get the interviews. But I told you, you need this defense to loosen up a little bit and get some points scored on them to really have a shot bringing them back. So be careful what you ask for
Hey,
because you're going to need this.
hey,
So,
maybe that Minneapolis, that curse that happened this year. Maybe it's trying to keep Flores in the building.
hey, so if he's playing like this, and the thing is, bro, I'm not gonna knock the defense because we had this discussion. It's an offensive league where the defense ain't supposed to be just giving up 0 points, shutouts, or low point games. This is the NFL right now.
Right.
You put up 30, 40 points, you got put up on 20 points. I'll take that. But when you got your boy just looking like Brett Favre with those turnovers, you're never going to win, bro. The turnover game. You talked to me about the turnover game this season. The turnovers have been nasty.
Insane.
Um, the team's been looking a little undisciplined. It's not. It doesn't look like what it needs to look like. So I don't know, bro. I mean, what do you think about the Vikings going into these? Not you don't have to. We're going to talk about the Packers game, but just going into these last 2 games, how do you feel about your team with just the injuries, the turnovers, the inconsistencies, the penalties? Like, how do you feel about your team going into these last 2 games?
Man, there's a lot. It's going to be one of those. It's a tough task because now it don't even matter if Jaren Hall goes out there and throws 300 or 400 yards, 3
Right,
touchdowns.
right,
The Packers against the Lions to close out the season.
right.
And if the Seahawks don't lose,
Mm,
we're going home. So it's one of those things, man. We're in like a weird spot. Like we get to kind of see what Jaren Hall can do, which is good, but we're kind of towards the end of the season. We don't have a lot of guys in there. People are
right,
injured, like you said.
right.
So it's going to just be real interesting to see kind of what we do if we can squeeze into the playoffs. Jaren Hall gets hot, or he goes out there and turns the ball over, just like all the other quarterbacks we got on the roster.
So we getting straight to it. I guess we're getting straight to it. Jaren Hall, Kevin O'Connell's playing musical chairs for the quarterbacks. Jaren Hall is your Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers game. Hopefully for the rest of the season. We've seen everything we needed to see from the other quarterbacks. I told you to put the pup in, the fifth rounder guy. I told you put him in weeks ago, but that's what you're talking about. It's just Jaren Hall. Even if they went out, it's still not looking good for us, basically.
Yeah, it's not looking good. And I do want to mention because we were talking about KOC. That's kind of been a hot topic. A lot of Vikings fans are kind of coming at his throat
Oh God, here
for
we go.
there's some good reasons. There's some good
Right,
reasons,
right,
but
right, right,
you hit a good point. We were talking on the phone, man. You said that it's not even the play calling really, and there's been some conservative play calling. We can talk
right,
about that, but
right.
it's the timing.
Mm-hmm.
You said the timing of Kevin O'Connell not making these moves.
Yep,
The
yep,
timing of being able to pull Josh Dobbs out when he was started to become a turnover machine.
right.
Because now you got a game or two that you could probably get away with a win.
Mm-hmm.
You go look at that Chicago game. Yeah, Nick Mullins is a turnover machine too, but he probably gives us a little bit more spark on
Right,
offense
right,
for us to,
right,
win one game, win two games, because now we're in a different playoff scenario.
right, right.
So I think that has been the biggest problem, and you said it. Um, the timing of Kevin O'Connell being able to make these tough decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Right,
it's a chaotic mess right now in Minnesota,
right, right,
he's
right.
got to be able to make these. Boom! You got to make the decision, move, and go with it. And he's been same thing with Alexander Madison, the fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's
Mm-hmm.
starting again.
Right,
Give
right.
Tyson Taylor should have been in there 3 or 4 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here he is. So, and you said
Right,
it. And I think that's been one of the biggest issues. And here we are. Now we got 2 weeks left, and we're relying on other
right.
teams.
I mean, you kind of said it, bro. I personally feel like I understand Kevin O'Connell. This is Kevin O'Connell's first season. The season last year, when you have veterans, you have Patrick Key, you got
Yeah,
Eric Kendricks, you got Harry that's a little more quicker on his feet. Um, Danielle Hunter. I mean, you had a lot. Dalvin Cook. You had a lot of veterans on that team. When you were a first year head coach, we can say what we want about Zimmer and Spillman. They built that team
they did.
to be a legit team. So you were walking into a great situation. I feel like this is his first year. Like I was telling you, it's not when it's not sunshines and butterflies and the TED Talk speeches. You got to make some tough decisions. I feel like this is his first true season as a real NFL head coach. So I'll give him that pass. But yeah, he coached your team at least. I mean, realistically, 2 games.
Right.
Based on stubbornness, based on play calling, based on inconsistencies, based on him trying to be a player's coach. You know what I mean? Based on Madison's fumbling the ball, you're on everybody's TV talking about if you can't take care of the ball, we're gonna find somebody that will. Then he's in there the following week. You know how that is, bro. If you're not a man to stand on what you're saying, your team ain't gonna believe in you. Your team ain't gonna
Right.
trust what you're saying. Uh, I mean, you had turnovers. JJ fumbled the ball week 2. Was it week 2 or whatever? And I get he's elite talent, but you had players fumbling the balls and it was sloppy football. And as a head coach, that's when you need to kind of get everybody in check and say, hey, I'm not the one. I'm a player's coach. We can key and all that, but you know what I mean? If you're not going to do what you need to do, then you're going to sit on the bench. We're going to find somebody that will. So it's a billion-dollar football league. There's players dying to get out there, and we need to win football games. So this was his first true test, being kind of in that crossfire. That I think this will be a learning experience for him. I'm gonna give him the pass because of the injuries and because not even the injuries, bro, because this is the NFL. Everybody's getting injured. We have an extra game in the NFL schedule that players don't want to play. So I don't want to hear the injury thing, but I will give him a pass because this is his first true year of being a real NFL head coach with all the just the hellfire stuff that's going on. Next year, if it's that same kind of situation where you're not doing what you need to do for the benefit of your team, I think you need to sit in that seat. The last time I checked, that seat ain't cold. If you know what I'm saying, that seat ain't
Right,
cold. Hey,
right.
that seat's Miami degrees. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that at that. We've had disagreements about Kevin O'Connell. You want to blame everybody else but Kevin O'Connell and Kirk Cousins, but you know how I feel, bro. So it is what it is. Like I said, we'll see what he does next
Hey,
year.
hey. Speaking of your boy Kirk Cousins, you see that interview with Justin Jefferson? Hey, you know I was gonna bring it up. You know I was gonna
Bro,
bring it up.
bro,
Hey, what do you say?
I had a
What do
good
you say?
holiday. I had a good Christmas. I finally got a Justin Jefferson
Let's
jersey.
go.
Shout out to my father-in-law for getting me the most recent jersey since what I have, Zach, Teddy
Hey,
Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy
It's
Two
a
Gloves.
fine dig. I'm on that rum shadow on ice. Like,
Let's go.
why you want to get me riled up? Why you want to get me riled up? All I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is this. If you think any player is gonna go on national TV and go, yeah, Buddy is trash and I don't want to play with him, you're crazy. Because what if he says that and Cousins comes back? Everybody looking crazy. Everybody looking crazy because now Cousins knows that he don't want to play with him. That don't mean nothing to me, bro. That's PR. All that is
No,
PR.
man. I think the word usage, man. The word usage, how he's always going to have a word to say it for Kirk. And I think I think he actually likes Kirk, man. I do. He didn't have that 49ers game. He didn't have to put the top 10 chain on Kirk. He didn't have
Hey,
to do
What Penix do when he scored a touchdown?
it. Yo, we do got to get Penix though. That's another topic, but we definitely got to go and try to get Penix if we can.
Yeah, man. Let's stay at hand before you get me riled
Yep.
up with that cousin talk. You can put that on Twitter when you put Z at the end of it. I'll check that at the end of the night. So
But
so we're gonna go into Green Bay Packers. Both teams are 7-8. Hey, just like the Vikings are technically in it, Green Bay's technically in it. So I'm gonna give you a quick few stats. The Packers offense is ranked 17th. Right now, your boy Jordan Love is obviously taking over for the Green Bay Packers. So
boom.
we have 3,600 yards, 27 TDs, 11. Be careful because you were saying the same thing. You were saying the same thing about Jake Browning, and then
Hey,
he put that thing on you in the second half. So you need to be careful.
he did. He did.
3,600 yards, 27 TDs, 11 picks, QBR 91.8. That QBR is good. That's hey, we like back of the card stats. We like stats. That's what you were telling me.
Yeah.
So the defense, Packers defense, they've been giving it up over 300 yards a game. They're ranked 23rd. Talk to me about how you feel this. How do you feel your team matches up against the Packers, and what's your prediction on the game?
Yeah. So I think we match up pretty well against them, especially them losing Jair and Alexander
Mm-hmm.
for the suspension, which is a big deal.
Right,
And
right.
I think, because even though we like to hate on him and talk, and he's
He's
still a
him.
good, he's
He's
still a
him.
good
Yeah.
corner,
Mm-hmm.
and that helps us. Them being ranked 17th, I think they're an okay team. I think they got to come play us in Minnesota. Jaren Hall, I think, is going to give us that element of being able to run the ball, pass the ball, and
Okay.
I see us taking care of business.
Okay.
Like I said, we might go win this game. It really don't mean nothing, to be honest with you. But I think we can beat the Packers just based on obviously Flores is trying to get that head coaching job next year, so
Right.
he wants to pitch a good game.
Okay.
And this is it. This is it. This is you pulled out all the cards for the
Right.
quarterbacks, and
Right.
this is it. This is your final straw right here. So this is
Okay.
it. If we live and die by Jaren Hall going for it. That's just what it is. Man
Mm.
could throw 3 interceptions this game. He's gonna close out that last game.
Right.
Um, but no, I think we can. I think we can get the W
Okay.
against Green Bay. We are obviously still fighting for it, a playoff spot, and even though that always is a gray area for us, but I think we can get it done. I don't think the Green Bay Packers are that have that much firepower where we got to be that afraid of them. We can beat the Packers.
Let me ask you a question real quick. I and it might be the rum shot of talking.
I was about to say,
Um, have you ever predicted your team was going to lose? I don't think I've ever heard you when we did these predictions say
Mm,
that your team was going to
I
win.
don't think I have.
I think you said they were going to win every single game.
Now since we've been doing the
Yeah,
podcast, I
yeah,
think I have. Yeah,
I got you. That's
I think I
interesting.
have. Now, yeah, we should actually keep
Keep
like
tabs of like,
yeah,
yeah, I agree,
going
bro.
forward. We should
I
keep
agree.
going forward because I know there's
Oh,
been two games you called. I know you
yep,
called the Broncos game, and I
yep,
definitely called the Bengals game for sure. Well, no, three, and you called the
yep.
Lions game. So you're
So I
like
guess,
3-0 right now. So hold
hey,
on, hold on. Hey, so you got the upper hand right now. So who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think?
um, Green Bay. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I'm a Vikings fan. I'm not keeping up with Green Bay Packers. I'm not keeping up with Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers left. What I do respect about the Packers is they constantly draft a quarterback, even if you have a Hall of Famer starting, you're drafting the guy to get ready. I guess here in Minnesota, we don't do that because if you put anybody behind Kirk Cousins and he gets any type of like scared that you might be a good quarterback, we gotta get rid of you and get Sean Mannion. So I'll leave that where that's at. But Packers, based on these stats, Packers offense, it looks pretty consistent. It looks like they've been running the ball pretty good, and it looks like Jordan Love, he doesn't have elite quarterback stats, but that 91.8 QBR tells me that he's playing pretty decent football. So the offense is there, the defense is 23rd. You have a better shot against that defense compared to your defense being a little hurt right now and
Right.
The Packers playing good offensive football. I can't predict the game because I don't know how he plays. He's only played a few drives and then he didn't know how to dive.
Hey,
So
we need that prediction. We need that prediction.
uh, this is his first this is his first real game. You know what I mean? Because he only played a couple of drives in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know the Packers are they're gonna have those outside. I believe they play a 3-4. They're gonna have those outside linebackers blitzing, and they have Savage at safety. They're gonna be blitzing your boy. They're
Oh,
gonna they're gonna
they
they're
are.
gonna they're gonna see what's up with your boy. Same time, I've been preaching. We're at this point in the season. I would rather us the win and losses don't matter to me no more. I would rather us put in a quarterback to see what we can potentially have in a guy, and then go from there, regardless of how this season goes. I told you last week or the week before, the Minnesota Vikings always put themselves in positions where other teams have to lose, or this has to go left, and this for us to have a shot. If you're not as soft and you know what I'm saying, you know what's at hand, you're gonna go take care of business. It don't matter who you're playing. But that's another story, for that. I'm gonna have your Vikings losing. I have your Vikings losing a close game. I have them losing. I have them losing. And I've read in some reports, depending on how all this goes, that the Vikings do lose out. They have the potential to be in a 13th to almost 10th draft pick position. So just off of my pure me wanting the team to get as good of a draft position as possible, I'm just gonna have them losing, bro. And yeah, I'm just a regular fan, and I probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I think it's gonna be a close score. I have your Vikings losing. I have that Packers defense making Jaren Hall say, "Welcome to the NFL." So that's that. So let me talk to you real quick though. So if you're talking quarterbacks, your Denver Broncos decided
I knew this was going to come up. I
your
knew
Denver
this was going to
Broncos
come up.
your Denver Broncos seem to be they seem to be playing weird ball with Mr. Russell Wilson. They
I
seem
can't
to be
believe it.
playing something weird. They still gonna pay him, but there's word that they may release him and still give him that bread.
Yep. Nah.
Also, there is a stat that the Vikings are fifth or sixth, kind of in that top 10 range of looking at Russell Wilson.
Look, look. Hey, while you're finishing, I think that is crazy what is going on in Denver. With if you go look at Russell Wilson, they were like 6-2, like of recent, like in these past games they've been playing
Right,
like
right, right,
6-3, whatever. They've been playing good football, and and
right.
so Russell Wilson's like 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He's been balling. You know, I don't think this has got to be something about the money. There's something on with the money.
Hey,
Um,
hey, hey, cut to it. Cut to
I'm
it.
gonna cut right to it though.
Cut to it. Hey,
I'm gonna
hey, we
cut
don't
right
hey,
to it.
hey, we don't need to talk and kiss. Let's get straight to it.
Look. No, absolutely not. I don't want Russell Wilson. I want look every place he's played. I'm gonna say this. This is why I'm just gonna come. I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna compare him and Kirk Cousins. I'm going directly to a point of straight culture. Yeah, the man's won a Super Bowl. No, I'm serious. The man's won a Super Bowl. But go to Marshawn Lynch, all of his teammates. He's not. Do you think he's gonna come bring a Super Bowl to Minnesota? Russell Wilson.
Hold on, you think Kirk
Nah.
Cousins?
Time's passing by, man. Time's passing by. We're going. If we don't keep Flores next year, our defense isn't going to be as good. He needs a good defense. He needs a good defense. So, all right. You ask me. I say no. You'd rather have Russell Wilson. You're going to sit here right now with the Minnesota Vikings in the background say that you'd rather have Russell Wilson over Kirk Cousins. Let's let the world know. Let's let the world know. Right now, not prime Russell. Not prime Russell. I'm talking right now, non-scrambling Russell. I'm talking Russell Wilson right now. Getting bent for Jared Stidham. I don't know how you say his last name.
That's all I'm gonna say. Kevin O'Connell, quarterback coach, offensive driven, offensive coach, offensive driven. You got Wes Phillips. You have Justin Jefferson. You have Jordan Addison. And you have TJ Hawkinson, draft a running back or two. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is one person shows up in the playoffs. One person's been to 2 Super Bowls, even though it was a disgusting throw when they should have ran the ball. Also, one person knows how to do audibles and call out plays, and he doesn't. He's not just a work here guy. One person also wouldn't just throw the ball short and would throw that beautiful pass. You know he got that beautiful deep ball. You know he's got that deep ball.
I like his deep ball.
Hey, and we're going because we got 9 minutes left. San Francisco. What's your boy's name? Purdy. You're on the clock. You're on the clock. That team's ready to win now. That team's ready to win now. That team has an elite defense. That team has 2 really good receivers. That team has one of the best tight ends in the league. You have one of the best offensive-minded coaches, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. The story is great. I know they love you out there. I know you're cheap. I don't think John Lynch and Shanahan can continue to have their job when they're wanting a Super Bowl. It's been a minute. Your boy goes out there and does what he did in that Ravens game,
it's a wrap.
I know Kirk Cousins and Shanahan, they've been buddy for a long time. And I know your boy Quasey likes to play money ball. So I'll just leave that up to however you want to interpret that. But say that happens, say the contract doesn't make sense for the Minnesota Vikings with a quarterback coming off an Achilles heel. That's about a 500 average quarterback. He goes and does what he needs to do. Russell Wilson doesn't sound too bad to me. But I'll leave that at that. Like I said, I'm just a regular fan.
All right.
I'll leave that at that.
And real quick, lastly, Russell Wilson, we're gonna be paying that man too. Hey, he ain't gonna be cheap.
Hey, but guess what? You know what you get with Cousins. You know what you get with Cousins. And last time I checked, that corner pocket on the left, it looked good when he was throwing to the corner sun, right? So I'll leave that where that is at. Yeah, man, this is episode 11, man. Happy holidays, everybody. We got our JJ jerseys on.
Let's go. You already know.
Hey, what do you say, Zach? Broncos country. Let's ride.